This video is brought to you by Consumer Voice, the premier hub for product reviews and ratings. Find detailed analysis of the best products in every category so you don't get burned on a bad purchase again. Head over to consumervoice.org to learn more. What is going on, guys? Marc Guberti here. In this video, we're going to talk about 5 steps to making money with no content books. In case you guys aren't sure what no content books are, they're pretty much your planners, your journals, your puzzles, your coloring books, pretty much not a written book where you're aiming for 15,000 words and even upwards to 60, 70,000 words, depending on what you want to do with that book. So no content, you're going to have a lot of lines, you're going to have a bunch of blank spaces. So that's pretty much what they are. And some people are able to make a lot of money through no content books. And I've seen you guys have been really enjoying some of the no content stuff I've published through bringing on other people for the channel. So I thought I'd share my insights in the area as well. So the first step to making money with no content books is getting clear on which books you want to focus on. There are a lot of options, from planners, workbooks, graphing paper, and so much more. So it is good to just do some initial research, like no content book ideas, and then figure out which ones you want to focus on. I like to focus on the planners, the workbooks at this stage. I could definitely branch out later on, but planners and workbooks, just that area is what I want to focus on right now. I also do like to use some of the no content books that I create for my own personal and professional goals. So once you figure out which types of no content books you want to start creating, the next step is to create these no content books around areas that you know. So I have published 2 no content books under my name, the Daily Money Journal, as well as the podcast workbook for people who want to write better show notes and streamline that whole process. These are 2 areas that I know very well. I also know about running very well. I'm not sure if you can see this shirt, but this is back in the day when you could do half marathons. Now I just create a lot more YouTube videos instead. But running is one of those areas where, after I saw that I was having some momentum with the initial no content books, that is something that I can branch out in. So it's not just your niche that you could branch out in, like the thing that people know you for, but you can use pen names to expand into other areas that you know, even though you may not necessarily be as well known for that particular skill set. So the third step is to create automated Amazon ads for all the different no content books you create. And I like to keep it simple with just the automatic ads for no content books, because you could get into a role with no content books and literally publish hundreds of these, even thousands of these. Some people, they will just change the cover and resubmit the same book because it's graphing paper or it's just blank pages to jot down your thoughts. So it is very reasonable to eventually end up with hundreds of these books. And Amazon ads, to have a lot of detailed ads spread throughout your network on Amazon, that's going to be hard for you to manage. So that's why I recommend the automatic ads. Run those for your books. Set really low daily budgets. No content books, typically you see razor thin margins. A lot of people in the space, they go for $1 to $2 of profit per book, because you don't want to price your books that high in the majority of cases, unless you have a really good interior design. But Amazon ads, they will help your books get more awareness. And since you are publishing hundreds of these, it's not like you could do a traditional book launch where you do get a bunch of authors involved. That's more for your content books. And I do recommend putting in more effort to creating Amazon ads for the content books, because you're not producing as many content books versus no content books. And in the content books, you have a greater ability to lead the conversation in a certain way and to turn your readers into clients, to include affiliate links in the Kindle versions of the book. So I definitely try harder when it comes to Amazon ads for the content books. And no content books, you just publish so many of them. Like some of them could like not get a single sale. Others, they get a ton of sales. That's just the way no content publishing works. But it is very important to just get some ad up. And then we could go into step 4, which is to branch out of what you know. So I talked about business, I talked about running as 2 things that I know, but with no content publishing, you don't have to be an expert in the space to publish a book. So you could know nothing about, let's say, gardening, but you could come out with some type of notebook or a workbook. All you have to do is have the right prompts on each page and then have the blank space where people can fill in their answers and jot down their thoughts. Now, you want to be ethical with this. You want to make sure that you are asking the right questions. You are doing some initial research to figure out what are the types of things that gardeners are tracking? What are the questions they have in their minds? What are some of their goals? And frame that into your no content book. But when you do branch out to things that you don't know as well, and you use a whole bunch of pen names, it is easier for you to build mini businesses around different industries through the no content publishing. And as you assemble all of these books, the 5th and final step, this one you're going to keep on repeating, is to look at your data. If you see that one of your books is taking off, create a very similar book. Go into that niche with more no content books. When you see that something is booming right now, that is your opportunity to create more books around that industry. The no content publishing space is certainly competitive. When something takes off, there's going to be a lot of copycat books that emerge. And when you do see that opportunity, you want to fully embrace it, not just with the book that's doing well, but to create multiple books around that same area. So maybe you go into health and a certain journal is very popular. Then you could do something like a planner. You could do the companion workbook. You could do all these different all these different complementary no content books. And in health, you could go health for athletes, health for yogis, and you go into all of these different subcategories once you realize that your main category you hit was a home run. So there's a lot you can learn by looking at the data, and you're only going to be able to learn from the data if you do have a bunch of books in the marketplace. So especially when you're very early on, just focus on cranking out as many of them as possible. It's very reasonable to publish multiple books each week, because with some of the no content books out there, you just take one page, you repeat it 90 times, and that's your 90-day journal. And you can do some changes to the prompts. You can add a weekly summary to spice things up rather than just blend in with all the no content books out there. But it is very doable to publish multiple books each week. And the more books you publish, the fewer sales you need for each book to hit your income goals. There are some no content creators, they have 1,000 books out. If all of their books each make 1 sale per month, which could just be someone finding it on Amazon and doing the search, even if you don't have an ad, but the ad is certainly something great to have, that's at least $1,000 to $2,000 per month, depending on how they have it set up. And 1,000 books, I just mentioned that number. It's definitely a bunch of work to get to that type of milestone. But once you have the no content books up, they stay up. They can continue to get sales long after you've written them. And I think that's one of the reasons so many people are attracted to self-publishing. You write a book once, you keep collecting royalties. And with no content books, some of them may only get a sale a month, but you have others that may get 10 sales a month, 20 sales a month, 100 sales a month if you are in the right industry. So just get started with something that you know. It's very easy to publish a single no content book. Just think about the planner, think about the workbook. That's where I'd start. You can also do puzzles like mazes and word searches, but that's entirely up to you. I love to hear in the comments what you guys are thinking about no content books, where you guys are going to start, or if you've already embraced this trend. And if you guys haven't already, hit the subscribe button, gently tap the like button, and I'll see you in the next video.